guys, welcome back to Smash Knits. My name's Ash, aka Smash, and today we're going to be going through all of my plans for spring. So I want to just kind of go through everything I'm planning to knit for spring, but please keep in mind that I may not achieve all of these. We always have goals, we always have things that we want to do, and we always get so excited, especially when a new season comes around, the sun is out. But obviously this is just kind of my plans, my brainstorming, my little mood board of what I've got going on. So don't hold me to any of these projects because who knows, I change my mind every 5 seconds practically. Now if you see me looking away, it's probably because I've got a bunch of notes. I really wanted to be super kind of thorough when going through these and really describe and go into depth about what I'm planning to knit. So we'll just get right into it, I guess. I know that some of you obviously are from the Northern Hemisphere, so you're currently going into autumn, but us in the Southern Hemisphere, we're in spring. It's probably been actually about a month now, just under a month, just over a month that we've been in spring. So I have already started knitting some of the plans that I already had. So sorry I'm a bit late to the party, but it's better than nothing, right? So let's start off with project number 1. So these aren't in any sequential order of how I'm going to make them. I've just kind of listed them out as I've got them in my notes. So is what it is. Okay, so the first thing is the Cumulus Blouse by PetiteKnit. So this blouse is worked from the top down in stockinette stitch and has a deep V-neck, and then it's finished with I-cord edging. In the pattern it has 2 strands of mohair, but I have decided not to do pure mohair just because from my last cardigan, which you would have seen me mention in my podcast, I do have a bit of a sensitivity, not too much, but I don't want to risk going full balls to the walls and making a whole entire garment out of just mohair. So I thought I would kind of play it safe. Now the color that I am going with in the Cumulus blouse is green. I've got this lovely green color. These are 2 yarns that I haven't actually ever tried before, so I'm very excited to do that. So the first one that we've got here is Amano yarns Uma, and this is a 37% baby suri, 37% super kid mohair, and 26% mulberry silk. So it's a little bit of mohair, it's a little bit of kid, and it's got the silk. Now this is a lace weight, but I would say that because of all of the fibers, it does turn out to be a little bit thicker. And then for the wool base, I'm using Knit Picks palette, and this is this gorgeous green color as well. So this color is called, what's it called? Cool, it's called Spring Rolls. So cute. And this color is called Alfalfa, and I think I did a really good job of matching these colors together. Granted this is a lot lighter, but when you see it in the swatch, which I will show you, when you see it in the swatch, I think it blends really nicely together. I think the palette, Knit Picks palette, is described as a cool yellow green, and this is kind of, more of that cool tone green. I think they're really delicious. Now when I first knit this up, or knit the gauge swatch up, the gauge for the pattern is 18 stitches by 26 rows on 4.5mm needles using DK weight yarn. So that's the 2 mohairs together. With the wool and the Uma, after blocking, washing and blocking, it came to 18 stitches and what was it? I think it was 24 5 rows. So my row gauge was a little bit off. Now this, you can see, is like, it's not super dense, but it's not like super airy like the mohair is. So I wonder if you can see it a little bit better on the back. Sometimes you can see through it a bit better when it's on the other side. So it's not as airy as I want it to be. So I've decided that I'm going to knit this in a larger needle size. I'm going to go 5mm instead of 4.5 because I want this to be really airy. I want it to have like drape, and I want it to be kind of something I can throw on in like the cooler evenings, because here in Melbourne, like, it can be really hot during the day and sometimes it's warm at night, but most of the time it's kind of gets a bit cold at night, especially if it's windy. Where I'm located, we're near the beach, so you really get that kind of like that sea breeze coming off the ocean, and it can be really quite cold. Another reason why I wanted to go up to a 5.5mm needle, no, 5.5, oh my god, no, 5, is because I wanted to be slightly oversized. I was kind of in between, like right on the cusp of being in between sizes, so I think that going up half a needle size is not going to hurt too much. I think that's going to be fine. I think it's going to give that kind of drapiness that I'm looking for, but not be too small, because my biggest concern is that it's not going to fit around my arms, because it looks kind of a bit loose, a little oversized on her sample knit in the picture, but I'm very self-conscious of my arms being too small and too tight, and I don't want that. I want something kind of oversized that I can throw on over like a tank top and hope that that looks kind of really nice. Also, if you notice that the lighting is kind of changing quite a bit, I'm really sorry. Where the sun shines through is a tree, so sometimes it'll be in front of a branch and sometimes it won't. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to knit this particular item, is because I wanted something that I can just throw on. I don't have anything v-neck, and I thought it would be really fun to kind of try something like this. Pattern has a lot of things that I haven't tried. Like, I've never tried an applied I-cord edge. When I did the Sophie shawl, you knit the I-cord edge as you go, so I've never done an applied I-cord edge. I've never done a v-neck either. So that's like, those are the two things that I really want to try. It looks simple enough that I can kind of, it's not too challenging. So that's kind of like, oh, like, it's fun, it's learning, it's new. Another thing is, like, I really like the look of v-necks, and I just don't have that many. And I have these really nice necklaces that my boyfriend John got me for Christmas like a couple of years ago, and I really love them, but I really want something that kind of shows it off. So they're like cute little, just like little gold necklaces, and they're really nice. So I want something that kind of shows it off, because I feel like high neck stuff like this is really nice, but it tends to get like lost underneath. So I really want something that you can kind of showcases it a bit better. Yeah, so that's the first thing that I wanna make. I'm very excited because I'm just so obsessed with these colors. Like the green, I feel like green is so like quintessentially spring, you know. Everything goes from like, you know, browny, dark, kind of, you know, not very interesting, to like bright and green and spring, and the grass is greener and there's daisies everywhere, and it's just so nice. And I just think, oh, this is like, reminds me just of like a fresh cut lawn. So nice. So alrighty, so the next project that I want to talk about is the Tolsta Tee by Rebecca Clow. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. She's also known as Creabea here on YouTube. I watch all of her podcasts pretty much. Like, they're very entertaining, and she's just very interesting, and she's like releasing patterns at just such a rapid rate, and every single one I see her come out with I absolutely love. So but obviously, like, we're not going into winter, so there's all these jumpers and cardigans and really nice stuff that I do want to make, but I have to keep, like, you know, stay conscious that it might not be super appropriate for my particular season. But she's incredible. I think she's based in Edinburgh. Like, just really awesome patterns. She does such a great job. And one pattern that she recently released that's been going crazy is the Tolsta Tee, and it's just a classic like raglan top down t-shirt. The pattern includes, I think it was originally released in for DK weight yarn, but I think she's updated it now so that you can knit it in fingering weight as well. So that's really cool because obviously, you know, fingering weight is a little bit more drapey, a little bit thinner, better for a hot climate. Maybe in summer I'll do a fingering weight one. I have not made a garment out of fingering weight, and I really do not want to, because for a plus size girly like myself, making a larger size takes a long time, and so even in DK, to be honest, so I can't even imagine knitting something in fingering weight. I feel like it would just take me a century. So, but I really would, I think if I was gonna knit, like say like a silk Tolsta Tee, that would be really pretty. I'd really love that. But anyway, so I consider this as like two projects technically, because I want to knit two versions of it. The first one is the one that I've already started knitting. Now, this is, I've got it behind me. Where is it? This is my plan. Well, this was my plan. I honestly am nearly almost finished, to be completely honest. I'm binding off the bottom at the moment, but this is my current Tolsta Tee. Oh, I'm showing you the back. I'm showing you the west side with all my janky joining of my colors. Okay, show you the good side. So this is the Tolsta Tee. It's got the raglan. It's just got a normal like 1x1 rib collar. I did a, what's it called? A tubular cast on? Yeah, tubular cast on. I don't know if I like it. It looks nice. But what I'm really excited about is this is my first time working with cotton. So these little stripes here are actually the Rosarios for Amigomira, which is like a set of like 6 little balls of, they look like this, of cotton, of 100% cotton yarn. They're like these little balls, so cute. So cute. And they are made for amigurumi, and my boyfriend bought them for me for Christmas, I think last year, but I don't crochet. And I have thought about using them to like make a little, like a knit animal, but I don't know, I just haven't really felt inspired to make anything, but I really want to make something out of them because I don't want them to sit there and go to waste. And then I thought, oh my god, why don't I make a Tolsta Tee and use it as the stripes? And it looks so cute. It honestly looks so cute. I love it. It's giving very 70s, like very 70s stripes. And I think it looks so freaking cute. Now, I did not gauge swatch for this. Even though in my last video I did say, Ashley, you better gauge swatch, you stupid bing bong. But I was just so keen. I had just finished a vest, the Friday Slipover by PetiteKnit, and I was waiting for this green yarn, the Knit Picks palette, to come in, and I just wanted to cast something on really badly. And I think because I was just like, I really wanted to knit something in the round, I was like, what am I going to do? What can I do? And then I saw the Amigomira balls, and I thought, oh my god, a striped t-shirt would be so cute. The base that I'm using is called Chaska Tacama Organic, which is a blend of 70% organic cotton and 30% superfine alpaca. This is just like the natural color, so it's not actually dyed. It's like a creamy color, like it's a true cream, which is why it also gives like very 70s. I have really enjoyed knitting this pattern. It's knit, in her sample knit, she holds 2 strands of like fingering weight together to make a DK, and she uses, I don't know if she uses, she has so many different samples, so many different things, and I think that's why this pattern is really versatile, and a lot of people have been loving it because it's kind of a really good base to be creative. You can add stripes, and I've seen people do like eyelets. She's got in her sample one that she's like knit little daisies. Yeah, like there's so much that you can do with it, and it's super, super sweet. It's really, really nice. So I just decided to do stripes. This is my first time actually knitting stripes, and when I tell you that when I'm trying to do that jogless, you know, stripe method, when I first started it looked really janky. It's getting better, but it's still not great. Like, it's still a lot of room for improvement. The gauge has, I think, 17 stitches by 26 or 27 rows. I have no idea what mine is. Like I said, I didn't swatch gauge. It's meant to have about 0 to 8 centimeters of positive ease. I've definitely got more than that. I probably would say I have, like, I don't know, maybe up to 15 to 20 centimeters positive gauge, because it's on 5mm needles. It's been flying by, and it is like bigger than I'm used to. Like 5mm needles are the biggest I've knit a garment on so far. So I don't know why I didn't gauge wash. I was so lazy. I just wanted to get this thing on the needles. So it is a bit more oversized, which is fine. I'd rather be oversized than undersized, to be completely honest. But I just don't know how it's going to go, if it's going to stretch out. Also, I bought 4 balls of the base weight, and I have like this much left. That's not a lot to do the sleeves. So I'm hoping that because the sleeves are kind of like already kind of like majority of the way done by the time that you split for the sleeves, that I have enough to finish them. Because I'm still going to do like one other stripe. I'm going to do that nice light blue stripe that you see there. So yeah, it's knitting up so fast. I really love it. I just wanted something quick, something easy. I wanted something that I could wear obviously in the spring or summer, so a t-shirt was perfect for that. And I don't know, you haven't really seen, oh actually you have, in my knit and chat I do show a little bit of my lounge room, and I've got like the green leather couch, so it's like very mid-century vibes. So I feel like, you know, it kind of definitely suits the aesthetic of what I've got going on and kind of my style. I'm also going to make a Tolsta Tee in this cotton here. It's a bit hairy, got cat hair on it. This cotton here. Now this is the, what is this called? DHG Lincoln, and it's 100% cotton, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got this, oh, you can see the friggin' cat hair is what you can see. Oh, why did I put this on the ground? Oh no, it's got so much cat hair on it. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if that shows it very well, but it's got this, oh, I'm just like trying to show you. Oh yeah, maybe that actually. It's got this really nice sheen to it. It's very shiny. It's a very shiny yarn. And I immediately was like, oh, that would be so nice. I feel like navy blue is kind of, it's more like this, it's a light navy blue if you were going to describe it. It's got this beautiful sheen to it, and I thought it would be really nice to make a Tolsta Tee in this navy blue kind of color. And do it instead of, because I like textured things. I'm really getting into the texture recently. Instead of doing stripes, colored stripes, I thought I would do little texture stripes. So this is like a pearl row. This is just like one pearl row. I don't know if I'm going to do it this, like the distance this far apart, but I think it's so cute. I think it'll be like, it's a really easy way to add texture and interest into a plain t-shirt without having to like fuss around with colors and weaving in all the ends. That's one thing I'm not looking forward to the other t-shirt, is weaving in all these ends. So I also think this one here is a bit smaller gauge. I think this one is 17 stitches by 27 rows, and it's meant to be, I think it's meant to be, oh no, it's meant to be 17 stitches and 27 rows. My gauge is 20 stitches and 28 rows, so it's very off. So I don't know. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I don't want to go up a needle size because it's always already quite see-through. If you can kind of see that, it's already quite transparent. So I think I might just suck it up and knit it on this, and maybe knit like a size larger. I'm planning on making this more cropped to wear with like white linen pants, very beachy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go, yeah, maybe I'll go up a needle size. I don't know, I don't want to. But yes, that's another one. I'm very excited for my t-shirts because they just don't take very long and they're very easy. And now that I've done the first one, I'm like very excited for the second one. It's actually the first time I've ever done German short rows, which is exciting. I thought that would be really difficult because I had bought a few patterns previously that had German short rows in them, and they just did not explain them very clearly, and I was super lost, and I kind of swore off German short rows and really avoided any patterns that said short rows. I was like, no, not for me, no thank you. But then I thought, I really want to make this t-shirt and everyone's making it, and I really want some t-shirts for spring. So I bit the bullet, bought the pattern, and she explains it really clearly. It's really great. I found it really simple to figure out. And I was doing it quite late at night, so I was kind of sleepy. So if I could do it through my doziness, I'm sure anyone can do it. I was really actually quite impressed. So I'm very excited. I would definitely be knitting more of Rebecca's patterns because she has just, she's so creative, and it's really well laid out, and she puts all of the measurements in, like in the pattern. It's not just the bust measurement, which is really good. It's like the bust measurement, the arm measurement, the hip measurement, oh no, the waist. I don't know if there's a hip, but she puts all of the measurements in there so you can kind of gauge what size. I didn't read too much into it. I should have, like, that. Maybe I'll do that for the blue one because I really should have, because I really want to get this the right size. But yeah, so I'm knitting them in both DK. Okay. So the next thing I plan on knitting is the Marysia Cardigan by Aleksandra Sołowianiuk. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I tried to look up how to pronounce it, and there is nothing on the internet that helps me, so I'm so sorry. But I've had this cardigan pattern for a while, and I'm sure you've mentioned me talk about it heaps. I have been just tossing and turning and just not being able to make up my mind in regards to like what color palette I want to use for it. I tried knitting it, like I did a swatch in this pink and I wasn't vibing it, and I did a swatch in like this, I don't know if I have that in here, but it's like a creamy fluffy white, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. So I finally think I've decided this is what I'm gonna make it with, and I'm gonna go for a light blue. Now the Marysia cardigan is an all over faux cable cardigan, and you see in my swatch the little faux cables and the lovely blue color. It's like this light cornflower blue. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it's got these little faux cables all over it. So you don't need a cable needle or anything like that. It's super simple. It's worked from the top down with raglan increases, and the raglan increases actually have like a cable in them, like a faux cable in them, which I think is a really nice detail. It's knit flat, obviously, because it's a cardigan, and has short row shaping at the back. She, in her sample, knits it in 2 strands of fingering, so I'm doing it in 2 strands of fingering as well. I'm using Knit Picks palette. Again, I bought these together, and the shipping actually for Australia was not bad. I'm pretty sure it was something like $7, I think, for shipping to Australia, which is incredible for anywhere Europe or like North America based, because shipping here is expensive. Usually it's a minimum of 17 US dollars or 17 euros, which is about $30 to $40 Australian, which is a lot when you think about, like, if you're trying to buy on a budget, you're paying a lot just for shipping. So I was really impressed that it was only $7. it took about 3 weeks to get here, but they do tell you it's going to take that long. So I wasn't too fussed about that. I'm just very impatient, so I just really wanted to do something now. So, which is why I cast on the Tolsta Tee, but actually I had no problems. It was really good. They ship through DHL, and DHL is pretty reliable, so I was really happy, really happy with that. This is, and the same with the other green one I got. This is Peruvian Highland wool, and this is in the color Bluebell. It's like, it's not super soft. I didn't mention that for the other one, but it's not super soft. It's a little bit scratchy, but once I washed it and blocked it, it seems fine. It doesn't feel like it's going to irritate me, but it's not as soft as like a superwash or like a merino wool. It's a little bit more rustic. It's kind of in between, but I really like it. The gauge for this pattern is, what is it, 21 stitches and 32 rows on 4.5mm needles. My gauge after washing and blocking is 19 stitches and 29 rows. So I am definitely going to go down half a needle size and knit this on a 4mm. In all this, like a couple of swatches I did one in a 4.5 and I did one in a 4, and I really liked the look of the cables better when they were in a 4mm needle. So I will definitely be doing that, because I want to, this is one that I don't really want it super oversized, the pattern. Like I want the cardigan to fit quite well. I want, because my plan is like to wear it with like a nice white summer dress, or like with just some jeans. I think it'll look really cute. It's really cute. So the pattern recommends like 8 to 12 centimeters of positive ease, and that's what I will aim for. More on that 10 to 12 positive ease, you know. But yeah, I think when I originally saw it on Knits by Mandy, and she mentioned that in her experience that the pattern knitted quite like cropped. It was quite cropped if you go off the recommended dimensions for the body. So I'm going to knit mine a little bit longer, just so that it hits just above the hips. So it's kind of that in between a cropped, like in between the waist and the hip, you know, that sweet spot. Because I don't want it to be super cropped, but I don't want it to be really long and look kind of like an oversized cardigan. I want it to still be like a little bit fitted. So that was my plan in that one, because I've had it in my library just for ages. Like I've had it for so long and I haven't knit it, and it's been months. I don't even know how long, like at least 3 months I think I've had this bloody cardigan pattern, and I haven't knit it. So, and it's a really good layering piece. Like I know cardigans are more like just your autumn and winter, but I feel like here in Melbourne, the weather changes so frequently. Like you can have, you know, a 35-day one day and then the next day be 19 degrees. So it changes so much that it's always good to have a really what's the word, versatile wardrobe. So I think cardigans are great because they're a great layering piece. You can, you know, if you get cold you can whack them on, but if you get hot you can take them off, and you can button them up if you're really cold, or let them open just to be a bit more breezy. I think this is really versatile, which is perfect for spring here, because like I said, it just gets hot, it gets cold, it's everything under the sun. They like to say that you get all 4 seasons in one day here in Melbourne. So I think this is really, really good. Plus the faux cable, like, oh, I was knitting these socks, which if you've seen my earlier podcast, were green, and they had this really nice cable in it, and then I lost my cable needle, and ever since then I've just kind of been, I really love the look of cables, but I've just been like, oh, I don't want to lose my cable needle again and not be able to do this. So, and it can be a bit fiddly, so I'm lazy and I want the easiest, most convenient thing. So a faux cable is perfect. And I've done these little faux cables. They're not hard at all. Like they're really easy. I would say a beginner could make the faux cable pattern. I haven't knit the cardigan, so I don't know if I can recommend that yet, but the cable was actually a lot easier than I thought they would. Okay, so the last pattern I'm going to talk about today. I feel like I'm running out of breath. There's so much to talk about. The last pattern I'm going to talk about is the Eva Cardigan, or Eva Cardigan. I think it's Eva Cardigan by PetiteKnit. So it's a v-neck cardigan with these like big chunky buttons, and it has this like lovely thick, I think it's like 2x2 rib all the way down, and like on the sleeves and on the bottom. In the pattern description, it says that it's worked like from top down, but the back first, and then you pick up stitches for like the shoulders and the front. The button band is picked up at the end as well. Now in her sample, she uses Sandnes Garn Peer Gint, which is a DK weight yarn. So I decided that I am going to knit it in this really super soft Dreamtime Merino by Patons. It's this gorgeous kind of like, it's a little bit heathered. It's a little bit of a heathered, variegated, I'll flip that over for you so you can see, yarn. It's really, really super soft. And this is a DK in itself. And then I'm going to hold it together with the Rico Creative Make It Tweed. Now, you probably saw me in one of my podcasts talk about this. I have bought a bunch, and I just think it's so fun. Again, I think I saw like Knits by Mandy buy this, and I saw a few other people on Instagram post about it, and I thought like these two together would be such a cute combo. I really love grey, but again, I'm like, oh, I don't know, I don't wear that much grey because it's just not that colourful. So the Rico Creative Make It Tweed is like my perfect, I can make it colourful and making it exciting. This, and I've knit a swatch, and this swatch looks so good. Oh my god, so this is the swatch. It looks so cute with all the different colors. I am so excited. Now obviously this is a lace weight held with a DK, so it is a bit chunkier. Actually I'll get you really nice and close in there. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, too close. Oh my god, really close. There you go. That's better. And so it is like, it's very dense. Like it's a bit denser than I thought it would be. I didn't think that, I thought because the Rico Creative like doesn't really have any fluff that it wouldn't bulk it up a bit, but it did quite a bit. So this is 100% merino wool, and this is like a mix of viscose, acrylic and polyamide, and it's super soft. And going back to when I was talking about the gauge, so I got really just sidetracked right then. The gauge for this pattern is 20 stitches by 30 rows, and mine is 18 stitches by 28. So obviously this is like much bigger than it's meant to be, but again, because I'm like in between the sizes, I think I'm going to just leave it. It's knit on 4mm needles, and I don't want to go down to 3.5 or 3.75 because it just already is very dense, and I don't want it, and I kind of want this to be, you know, a spring cardigan. I don't want it to be like a chunky, you know, very wintry cardigan. So I think that's why I'm going to leave it as it is, because I think the actual density and the stitch definition is like perfect in this size. But the only thing I have with this pattern when I was reading the description is that it says that it recommends 26 centimeters of positive ease, but then as it gets larger in the sizes, the ease decreases, which I don't know how I should then measure, because it doesn't actually tell you the recommended ease for those larger sizes. It just says that it decreases as it gets into larger sizes. So I don't know if I'm meant to, because I'm in one of the larger sizes, if I should be aiming for 24 centimeters positive ease or 22, or like how much positive ease am I meant to be aiming for. So that was kind of a little bit annoying because I don't actually know what the positive ease should be. But I think I'm just gonna stick with the needle size and see how we go. I don't know, if it's a slightly oversized, it's not too bad, because it's got like big chunky buttons on the front, so I can always like do up and be a bit more cozy, I guess. But it's so funny because I wasn't planning on knitting so many cardigans for spring. I was gonna like knit like maybe a tank top or something like that, but only like a week, maybe like a week before this pattern was released, I was in Target, and I was just like in there, I don't know, looking for something that I probably didn't need, and I saw like the clearance section. There was this like cardigan in there, and it was in my size, and I tried it on. It was really nice. It was like this pink kind of cardigan, and it was just so nice. It had these bigger sleeves, and it had a V-neck and these chunky buttons. It was like pretty much exactly like spot on for what this cardigan was. This cardigan pattern by PetiteKnit, the Eva Cardigan. And I was like, oh, I really like this style of cardigan. And then a week later, she releases this pattern, which is like pretty much exactly the cardigan that I just bought for like $20 at Target. So I was like, of course I have to make this. Like, oh my God, I have to make this. And I get to make this bloody rainbow tweed. It's so cool. So I was super stoked. I was just like, it's meant to be. Like, the knitting gods have seen my request, and they have answered my prayers, and they have given me this cardigan in the style that I just so happened to buy a cardigan version of and fall in love with. So I'm super excited for that. Plus I'm very excited. If you probably saw in my last video, that was like super just raving about going to the button shop and how fun it was, and the fact that I get to now buy chunky buttons from the button shop. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I am so excited. There are so many goofy buttons, especially big ones. I don't know if like there's these ones that are like little houses, and I don't know, like I really desperately wanted to get like a really gimmicky kind of like novelty button, but at the same time it's like I don't like, it's not going to be practical to do up up. Like there's even one that was like a fence, like a pointy, like a picket fence. I was like, who? Like that must be something that must be an embellishment. Like you can't use that as a button, or it's going to be like absolutely infuriating. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm very excited to get some like really chunky buttons for those. But yeah, I think that's everything so far. Thank you so much for listening to my spring knits. I'm very excited to get into spring. I've got like a very much like a, what is it? Where's the kind of a cool kind of palette going on. I think I overdid myself on the pink a bit, so I'm going very like cool tone palette. I'm very excited, and like if any of you like are in the southern hemisphere and you're getting into spring knits as well, like please comment down below and let me know what you're knitting. I always need more ideas, especially going into summer. It's going to be hot, so and I'm like there's so much stuff out there that for like autumn and winter and stuff like that. I kind of need more advice on some really good kind of warmer weather patterns. So comment down below what you're planning on making or any good patterns, and if you have the time or if you'd like to, no pressure, you know, give this video a like, and press the subscribe button if you want to see more videos. No pressure, don't mind, but thank you so much. I am so excited. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.